Hey guys, sorry I haven't been posting. I've been going through some stuff. Our cat Eddie's actually been very sick. Um, I don't even know where to start here. I guess I'll just start at the beginning. He was getting sick. He was losing a little weight, so we got him to the vet. First vet wasn't the normal vet that's there. It was an emergency vet who was covering. We were telling her what's going on. He's losing a little bit of weight. He's getting picky with his food. Throws up sometimes, which is not normal for a cat at all. Um, we were telling her about his history a little bit. He does get a lot of urinary blockages. He has a lot of crystals that form. She said, yeah, there's a lot of crystals. Nothing's coming up on the blood test. That's definitely what it is. Here's some special food. So we gave him the food. He started eating it slowly at first, but he started eating more and more. I'm like, okay, I guess that was it. So I slowly started getting worse again. So we took him back. So they did an x-ray. Nothing showed up in blood tests, like I said. So they did an x-ray. She found what appeared to be a solid mass in his stomach, covering up more than 50% of it. She believed it was cancer. Only thing that there could be done surgery, and the surgery would have been so massive that it's something she couldn't do and something she wouldn't recommend. So I was at work at this point, and Erica tried telling me everything was okay. I could just tell in her voice it wasn't, so I just had her tell me what's going on. I went home and we spent some time with him. The vet said she recommended just feeding him things he likes, showing him lots of love, and bringing him back in a couple of days when we're ready to have him put to sleep. So I said, why don't we take him to an emergency vet, get ultrasounds done, just get a second opinion, get x-rays, have them look at that, get an ultrasound done. That vet looked at the x-rays and said, stomach cancer usually doesn't show up on x-rays. It's something you need an ultrasound to say for sure. She was looking at the x-rays and she said another thing that the other vet missed was this black spot on his lungs, which maybe it's just a cyst. It could possibly be cancer. So we come back next morning, got the ultrasound, and angered us a little bit. That solid mass in his stomach was gas. So we're sitting there at first like we almost had our cat put to sleep for gas. So it's lung cancer. It's inoperable lung cancer because it's metastatic, which means it's basically part of the lung at this point. Only surgery that would work is removing a lung. Chemo's possibly an option, but that might not even work. So at this rate, he's lost a good bit of weight. And we're like, we can't put him through chemo like this. So the vet gave us an appetite stimulant, some pain medication, and something because his bladder was a little inflamed, so they gave us something for that too, to at least make him comfortable. So we brought him home, and now we started giving him the medication. Pain medicine made him a little dopey a little bit, but then he started perking up after. Appetite stimulant worked a lot. He started eating a lot more like he used to, and feeding him things he liked just to get some weight on him, because the plan was if we can get him strong again and get him get some weight on him, we can go through with chemo maybe. And we still weren't even sure about that because we didn't want to put him through that, but thought if we can make him stronger, maybe it's a possibility because he's a fighter and he always has been. So I brought him home. We had a few more days with him, which was nice. That was a blessing right there. We almost put him to sleep for gas, and at this rate, it was nice to get some more time with him. But he's laying around a lot. His back legs had some muscle loss. We thought that was from your lack of eating. He's eating again. His both back legs are kind of getting worse. The one in particular, starting to the point where he was just dragging it. So he still got around. He didn't let anything stop him from getting around. He would drag it if need be, limp if need be, but God help you if you tried to help him move around. He didn't like that. And another thing was, the times where it was a little harder, we tried to help him, and he would Yelp, sometimes scream, because I guess being picked up hurt him that bad. He starts panting the one night, which they said is a bad sign. So if he starts panting at all, having any trouble, real trouble breathing, bring him back in. When he stops scratching up the carpet. I know. I miss him too. I know. Come here. Come talk to the camera. Come here. Yeah, come talk to the camera. Come talk to the YouTube viewers. They're here to see you, not me. Gwenny's here, guys. She says hi. We're making a video about him. You're in it. I know. Well, it's hard to tell with Gwenny. She's always been the yeller. She just yells at things all the time, but it's hard to tell if that's just her normal yelling or if she just doesn't know where her brother is and she misses him. And I think that's what it's been a lot. She's been kind of, it's heartbreaking to watch. She's been kind of looking around and trying to find him. And he calmed down. So, okay, we said fine. He calmed down. Let's see what happens. And he calmed down a lot. And he was, after calming down, he was perky again. He was, begging for food and everything. We thought, okay, good. So that was Monday. And sorry, it's really hard. We tried getting him in his carrier, and he wasn't having it. He was fighting. So like, okay, he has the strength to fight going in the carrier. So maybe he's okay for now anyway. So next morning, he's panting again. And then he calms down again. And he's fighting again. Fighting getting his carrier again. So like, okay. And he started panting again. So we managed to get him in the carrier. I took him to the vet. Which is a very sad drive. And he, of course, calmed down. He wasn't panting on the way. He was perky. We got him in there. Got him laid down on the table. And the nurse, the technician, the vet tech, said that even the vet tech, not saying they don't know anything, but they're not the veterinarian. They're the vet. They're basically they're like a nurse almost. But even she looked at him right away and said, "I don't like his breathing. It's not good. It's too heavy." The vet came out and was talking to us about it. And said it's not good. He shouldn't be breathing like that. It's bad. And she told us, which the first vet at this place didn't really tell us. So I told us, it's basically end stage. So it's end stage cancer. And they got him prepped, and he hates IVs, so that was miserable for him. We eventually got to see him. He eventually came in. We opted to stay with him. We were gonna try to spend a little time with him in the room, but he was going wild because he had that IV in him. And holding him just made him hurt. Eventually we got him calm enough. He went to the chair. He wasn't calm, but calmer. He was panting. We eventually got him up on the table. We called the vet in. We said, okay, hey, we're not really ready, but we don't want him to go through this. And we were hoping, that's what sucks, is we were really hoping his last moments would be kind of peaceful. We'd all be together and just be calm. And they start with a injection that actually puts the cat to sleep. Actual to sleep, not puts the cat down, but puts the cat to sleep. They fall asleep. And after that, they do another injection, which is what stops the heart. And, you watch them take their last breaths, and then they fade. And that's hard to watch, but it's better than not watching at all, I think. Like, you should be there with your pet, with your loved one for that last little bit of time. So that's all I want to talk about. I don't want to just talk about him, because if his end isn't what is important. His life is what was important. So when I met Erica almost 4 years ago, well, I met her longer ago than that, but when we started dating almost 4 years ago, I never thought I would get, two amazing cats with it. I already have, an amazing woman, and I didn't think I'd be getting two amazing cats right behind her. So when I first met them, when I first went to visit Erica, and when I first met the cats, Gwenny didn't really let me pet her. She actually knocked I had my hat sitting on one of their tables. Woke up the next morning to find my hat on the ground, full of cat pee. So that was Gwenny's doing. her MO. But Eddie, from the beginning, from the very first time I met him, he came right up to me and started rubbing on me. We call him a little wrecking ball because one of his major ways of showing affection is headbutting you and ramming his whole body full force into your legs. And he's just a little guy, but he has some strength behind it. Almost knocks you over. But he was doing that right away. One of the first times I was like, wow, this kitty really likes me, and I really like this kitty. I was standing there, and all of a sudden he gets up on his back legs and rubs his head in my hand like, hey, pet me. And Erica was like, well, I've never seen him do that before. And I was like, oh. And you say she's had him for 11 years. I've only known him for 4, but not even a full 4, almost 4. And she says, that I was his human, and I'm proud to be called that. It's an honor to be that little cat's human. That's why it's so hard. It's one of the strongest bonds with a pet, and with a lot of people that I've ever had. He is always there, and that's the hard part. I know he's there, but he's not there. He's always there when I would open the door, when I come home. He'd be there to rub on me. He's there when I'm cooking dinner, of course. He would always be there for that. And Gwenny is still there for that. She always will be. But whenever I would, shake a treat bag, or if I would even just touch a treat bag or open a cabinet that he knows the sound of being where the treats are, he would come running if he wasn't there already. Going to bed every night with him at my feet, beside me, on my chest, under the blankets in between my legs. Or if not going to bed with that, waking up to have him one of those spots. Even at the very end, he was always, every night, wake up, he'd be there next to me, curled up against my legs or underneath the blankets. And it's hard to wake up and not have that. And actually the day after, Tuesday was when we ended up putting him to sleep. And yesterday when I woke up, I heard a purr. It was Gwenny, but I heard a purr, and I was still half asleep. I got excited from it. I was like, Eddie. And I kind of woke up and realized, like, oh yeah. Not that I wasn't happy to see Gwenny, but that's the thought that went through my mind was Eddie, and then it wasn't Eddie, and he wasn't there. But I know he's either watching over us, because I do believe in an afterlife. I know he's watching over us. He might even be here, because Gwenny's looked around a few times like she was looking at something. And it's heartbreaking to watch her, because she went to the cat carrier, sniffed around, and looked in it. And even though she didn't see him in it, she didn't believe that he wasn't in it. She was looking. Eddie loved cardboard boxes, so we had one there for him, and she was looking in there. She's looking all around, under the bed, under chairs, because before he started getting sick, one of his favorite pastimes was tormenting Gwenny. So he would wait around corners for her. When she would walk by, he would pounce. So she's still kind of looking around corners sometimes, like, where's he at? He's just waiting to get me. And last night, I think it seemed like she really got it. She just had this really sad look on her face, and she was just laying there. I think she understood. But another thing with the night that we did take him, we're laying in bed, and the light in our room has 3 different light bulbs in it, which is way too bright, but even 2 is way too bright. So one was dead for a few weeks now, so we just let it go because, too bright. So it's been dead for a while now, and we're sitting there. kind of mourning him, grieving him, talking about him, and then that light flickered on and came on. It's still on, which is very strange. I mean, it could be a coincidence. It could be. I'm not saying it couldn't be. Just I don't believe it is, because it was just strange that that same night that we did it, and when we were talking about him, that light just comes on. I think that was his way of letting us know he's okay, and he's either he's there or he's passed on and he's okay. Like I said, it could be a coincidence, but it's a pretty strange coincidence, and I don't believe it was. As I said, I don't even know where to go. I just want to keep talking about him, because there's so much to him. He was the best little cat anybody could ask for. Best little friend anybody could ask for. Like I said, he was always there. If I was upset about anything, or Erica was upset about anything, he knew, and he came to you. He didn't like when his mom or dad were upset. If you were in the shower, you'd come to the door and try pawing it open. If you open it, we have like a little ledge you can sit on. A lot of times he'd jump up and sit up there, because when he's petrified of water, he doesn't really care. Like, he just doesn't want to be soaked, but he doesn't care being near the water. One of his favorite pastimes is when you get out of the shower, if you're drying off, if your legs are still wet, he loves rubbing up against your legs and getting them nice and furry. And it's all that little stuff. All those little things. Even the things that were, at the time maybe a little agitating. And one of his other favorite things to do was, both of the cats love to beg in the morning, like way before they're even supposed to be fed. We usually feed them around 10. They'll start begging at like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and Gwenny will just yell for a while. She'll run around a little bit, but she'll mostly just yell at you, and I can sleep through that. Eddie would never do that. He would do his little meows, and then he would rub all over you. And I swear I think he knew that I was slightly allergic to kitties, which I am. I can actually be severely allergic sometimes. With living with cats, it doesn't bother me. Like, kind of build up a resistance, I guess. But he would, he'll keep rubbing in my face. I think he knows that eventually it gets me up because I start sneezing. And he's a smart cat, so I think he knew. But he'd do that for a while. I'm like, well, I'll show him. I'll just pull the blanket over my head. No, that didn't show him. He would start either pawing at my face, or pawing, through the blanket, or pawing at the blanket to lift it up to get under. And he would always get there because he loved being under the blankets, and he was used to getting under there himself. So he'd always find a way under. And it was a little agitating at the time when I'm trying to get sleep for work, but I'd give anything to have that back again. I'd give anything for him to wake up to him doing that one more time. Like I said, I could go on for a while. I'm not going to. Part of this was for me, is I just need to get it out. I mean, I get it out with Eric, obviously, but I just want to let you guys know how I'm feeling, because this is what I want to do, and this is what he loved doing. He loved being in here when I was recording. So my channel is dedicated to him from now on, and I'm going to try harder. I'm going to rededicate myself, because that's what he would want, because he loved being in here when I recorded. He loved being in here getting recorded. So I'm going to do this for him. For me too, obviously, but I'm going to dedicate it to him. And like I said, this was partially for me, but a lot of this was for him, because he deserves to be immortalized. He deserves to be memorialized, and a YouTube video is a good way to do that, on the internet, for everybody to see this little boy. So I'm gonna leave you guys with this. Just if you have a pet that you love, A loved one in general, but especially a pet that you love. Dog, cat, bird, turtle, whatever. Love them. Show them some love today. If you've had any pets that you felt this strongly about that have passed on, say a prayer for them. Let them know you're thinking about them still. And hug your pets that you do have tight, and give them a big hug, and let them know you love them, because they know that you love them. But show them that you do, because you never know what the next day is going to have. So give them a big hug, and take care of them. You can get a checkup, get them checkups, because I don't know if that would have caught it with Eddie, because two vets even said that without needing an x-ray, it may have never been caught. And even an x-ray might not catch it, but without needing an x-ray, it never would have been caught. And in normal checkup, they don't just give your cat an x-ray. So still, or your animal in general, an x-ray. But still, get them a checkup. If there's anything strange going on, especially, no matter how little it may seem, just get them to the vet. I know it's hard sometimes financially, but get them there, get them checked out, and make sure they're okay. Like I said, just hold them tight tonight. Maybe say a prayer for Eddie, because he was the best little cat you could have ever known, and he loved meeting new people, and he's gonna meet all kinds of new people up in heaven. And I'm sure he's gonna miss us as much as we miss him, but he is gonna have so much fun, and one day we'll see him again too. Here's I'm gonna leave you guys with this little photo montage. I could go on and on with these pictures, and it would be forever, pretty much. They would go on forever, but I'm gonna put it to a song. I thought I'd put it to a nice sad song, but that's not Eddie. Eddie was never a sad kitty. Eddie was a happy kitty. Even till the end, he struggled to hide his pain, and he always showed happiness. So this song is very much about him. Very much about him and his view on the world. He loved adventure, and he loved seeing everything, and this song kind of fits that. So I will leave you with this. Thank you guys for listening, and thank you if you say a prayer. And like I said, just enjoy your pets, love them, and take care of them.
Oh